Good morning, everybody. Okay, so this one is like it's kind of been patched together because I've had it for a while and I deleted some of it accidentally and I thought it was garbage, but I have done the best I could with this one. So basically what I've done to start, which you've missed out on because I lost that part of the video, is I've done a metallic watercolor background on my stone because it had a very bumpy texture and it's difficult to paint on. So I covered it with resin over top of that metallic watercolor. So now I have a very smooth surface to work on. And it's a very usable, large-sized stone. This was put in my shop ages ago and it was purchased a long time ago, but you're going to now see it made. So what I've done is I sketched on, once the resin was dry and I've got my metallic watercolor background and nice smooth glass surface to work with, I sketched on a dragonfly with gold paint. And now basically I'm filling in the gold paint with black paint and we're going to do like a Zentangle kind of situation, where we just kind of do funky little designs in each segment of the dragonfly. Now you've seen me do lots of dragonflies. I will post a couple links to some of my dragonflies, not all of them, but some of them in the description of this video, or you can just look up Rachel's Rocks dragonflies and you'll probably find a bunch. They're one of my favorite things to make, and you can do whatever you want in each little section. So it's where you get to use your creativity and your imagination and make something super beautiful. And they sell out every single time. So why not? Why fix something that ain't broke? I think I've said that before. And I like that saying because it's just so simple. So I'm outlining everything again, making sure that I didn't sponge over it with my blending brush or my sponges. And you can tell I have a tan and I've got like summer nails. So this is like super old. But I didn't want to not show you guys it because it's gorgeous in the end. You don't actually get to see it out in the sun shining in a video. But you do get to see a picture of it. Because unfortunately I lost that part. I lost the outdoor video shining in the sun after it was resined. So I apologize for that, you guys. It makes me sad to not see that part, but it's still worth it to show you how it's done. And you still get to see it completed with resin in a picture. Hopefully that will be enough. So if you liked what you saw on the thumbnail, that's what we are creating today. I'm going to ask you, if you can, hit the like button. Just takes a second. I know as a YouTube watcher myself, I forget to. So I'm going to continue to ask. I'm trying to get my numbers up with subscribers as well, get as many people out there learning how to create, and just, know that there's really no rules when it comes to creating your own little pieces of beauty or eye candy. You can do what you want to do. Just get creative with it. I'm just here to inspire you. So in the first little portion of the dragonfly, I did a flower and some eyes, just a part of a flower, some stripes. How about a little lightning bolt? Some diagonal stripes. I think I'm going to do a heart and a moon. And basically just do whatever you want in each little part. And once that's dry, I'm going to put black dots inside the gold dots to make them look like little circles. I need to go in and thin out any lines that are thick. So this is kind of like the cleanup process once your gold paint is dry. I'm also going to be doing fancy designs in the wings. The top two are going to be matching, or cousins, not sisters, or sisters, not twins. What's that saying about eyebrows or eyeliner? The wings are going to be similar. The top two wings and the bottom two wings are going to be similar to each other as well. just do what you want. Just fill it in with, you can do dots. You can do, what I'm doing today is I'm actually going to just use a lot of UV gel in certain spots. I'm not going to do any more colors of acrylic paint. I'm sticking with black and gold. And then I'm just going to fill in like the lightning bolt, the moon, the heart, the eyes, the flower, some parts in the wings. They're going to have chrome flakes on them of different colors. So purple, blue, gold. They color shift. So sometimes under different lights, they look a different color. But they really do a lot to your artwork. They stand out on that watercolor background, believe it or not. So you don't really need too much color on the dragonfly. You can, if you don't have chrome flakes, do whatever you want. Fill it in with dots. Just color in certain parts and keep the rest black and gold. You can also stick Swarovski crystals in certain spots. Once it's all finished with paint, you can add flat back crystals in different places, or, just be creative with it. That's the only thing that's important. You don't have to worry about what's going to look good and what doesn't. Just do what you love, and it'll turn out looking spectacular. So I'm thinning out the wings, getting the rings. I'm getting the wings ready for their design. And so I have to make sure that black paint and that gold paint is dry. Also letting all of my gold and black body parts along the body, let that dry, making sure that everything is the way I want it to be so that I can add the foil to it later, the chrome foils or chrome flakes. Now, I did get these chrome flakes on Amazon, like a box of 6, I believe, or maybe 8, and they last forever. I still have over half of my jars left, and I've had them for years, so it's really a good investment. Same with a cheap UV light. You can get them for maybe $13 on Amazon. UV gel, I get 2 bottles for, I think, $19, and it lasts me a long time. Yeah, I don't really have to spend a lot to make something extremely pretty. So I'm just going to do like a nice mandala design in here. I did like a half circle starting at the bottom of the wing. And then I did some like wishbones and petals, and now pinstriping. You can slow it down or pause it to see what I'm doing. And each wing is supposed to be similar. Those 2 front wings there. I'm just going to keep kind of adding little bits to it once I don't know, I'm just kind of winging it, literally winging it on the wings. This is what I usually do when it comes to Zentangle designs or mandalas. I don't have like a set way of doing it. I just do what feels right, what I think is going to look okay on this little area. And sometimes I end up completely removing it and starting over because I don't like how it looks, but why worry so much? Why? It's art. Just have fun, right? I hope everyone is doing well. I have missed you. I've put a couple of tutorials out already in the last few days. So I'm happy that I'm able to put another one up for you. I'm still working on a gnome one, which was going to be more of a St. Patty's Day or St. Patrick's Day theme, but I'm going to change it. It's not going to be St. Patrick's theme because I don't have time. But it could be birthday theme because my birthday's coming at the end of the month on the 29th. So maybe I'll do it kind of birthday themed. Is there anyone else that is having a birthday this month with me or soon? Let me know in the comments so I can wish you a happy birthday. So I'm doing the lower wings a little different. I've done some pinstriping and some dotting. I also added some dots to those top wings as well. I walked small dots around big dots. And I'm going to make a mistake here and erase it with black paint, and then go back and wait for it to dry and just go over it. And that's all you have to do if you make a mistake, especially on top of resin. A lot of people are under the impression that they can't paint on top of something that's been resined. You definitely can. Not oil paints, nothing like that. Markers don't really stand up very well, but acrylic paint seems to do great. It's a little slippery. It's a little different to work on top of this surface if you're not used to it, but it is very workable. And if you make a mistake, you can literally wipe it off, or scrape it off with your fingernails, whatever's closest. Or take a big wet cloth, big wet paper towel, and literally wipe the whole thing off and start over if you're not happy, and your background's not ruined. So I don't mind. I've learned to, over the last 10 years, just kind of learn to love working on top of resin. I think it makes my surface smooth and my lines straighter and sharper, and it feels a little more safe for me to make mistakes on top of it. So, and then I just resin right over top of that. I've never had any issues. I don't sand it or anything before I re-resin. I just resin over top. It's like a coat of glass that's just kind of protecting everything inside, and it looks fabulous. I don't usually put my rocks outside, and if I do, they have to be in the shade because the sun will completely bleach any paint very quickly. So I like to keep them in the shade. But yeah, the resin protects them from rain and snow and dirt and everything. I just take a wet cloth and wipe them off. And if they start kind of dulling out because of, sand or dirt sitting on it or anything, the surface just doesn't look as shiny anymore, I take it in and re-resin it. I wash it off with a wet cloth and I can resin it again. So that's just what I do. Some people have asked about watercolors, and do you find that they run? And I don't find that they, I put it on the rock just like this and it still looks the same when I resin. So I know that some other paints do just kind of roll down the side of the rock and they lose all their color and pigment, and it runs away. But with art resin and Iuilewatercolours or my handmade watercolors that I've made, they don't really budge, and I'm very happy with that. But that's just me. You do what works for you. So I've been just gabbing while I make a weird design. I put 2 more hearts in those 2 lower wings. So there's lots of love on this dragonfly. And now it's ready for me to start putting the chrome flakes on there. So what I do is I paint in with either a paintbrush or a dotting tool the little area that I'm working with. Now, if I'm going to be working, this is a fairly big rock, so I'm just going to do small sections at a time, and then cook them under the UV light. I just call it cooking. I know that's not the professional term for it, but I don't use professional terms here. And that's okay. We don't have to. We can call it whatever we want. So I cook them like they're going in an easy bake oven for about a minute 20. And then I brush on with a little fluffy brush the chrome flakes, whichever color I'm choosing to do in that area. And it's kind of like painting. You just got to cook your wet UV gel until it cures. And then you add, I'm using a smaller paintbrush to kind of maneuver around little areas. You got to be careful because it will run. So if you're working on an area that's curled down the side of your rock, you got to go quickly and then cook it quickly, holding your rock up so it doesn't run. And the chrome flakes only stick to the stuff that is UV gel and it's cured. So that's what happens. So I am going to show you this out in the sun, a nice picture of it. You'll be able to take a nice little gander. I remember how beautiful this was, and it resembles my business card, by the way. If you've received any business cards from me, in the last year or so, you'll have a dragonfly on there. Last 2 years maybe. There's a dragonfly that is almost exactly the same as this one, if not this one. It might have been this one. I'm letting my cat in because he won't stop. He's like knocking at my door, but he just kind of like touches his pads of his feet on my door and slides them down. So it's like this weird knocking that he does to ask me to come into my bedroom. But he's terrible. See, there's my business card. You guys might see that. There it is. So I'm going to show it to you out in the sun now that everything is ready to go. I like the black and gold and I like the chrome. I think everything looks pretty good. I'm going to dot around where the metallic watercolor stops and the natural color stone begins, because I didn't cover the entire stone with black paint and then metallic watercolor. If you don't know how I do this, I will also post a couple of tutorials in the description on how to use watercolor on stones. Did my nails change again? Speaking of nails, I maybe should do them. Anyway, guys, I'm going to show this to you once it's all resined and shiny in a picture outside in the sun, because I know someone did mention to me recently, I miss seeing them out in the sun. That's because the sun has been absent. But it's back. It's coming back. And I am so happy. I just want to say thank you to a couple of people who've sent donations or super chats to my PayPal or through YouTube. Diane, Colleen, and Sandra, thank you, thank you, thank you. It really does help me right now. So every little bit that you're doing, even if it's a thank you or $5 or sharing one of my videos with your family or friends, it's all really helping me right now, and I couldn't do this without you guys. So thank you, and thank you for anyone who's watched till the end. I appreciate every single one of you, and we are all part of this artistic, creative family, and I'm blessed to have you. I will be back very, very soon. Hi, Beckett. I hope all is well with you. But other than that, keep painting and put your ideas in the comments. Love you guys. Bye.